NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090 32GB, RTX 5080 16GB, RTX 5070 12GB to launch CES, new PCB back drill changes. NVIDIA will introduce the GeForce RTX 50 Blackwell Trio at CES 2025, which will include the RTX 5090, RTX 5080, and RTX 5070 GPUs. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090, RTX 5080 and RTX 5070 Blackwell GPUs kickstart the next era of high-performance PC graphics at CES 2025. NVIDIA's CES 2025 will be hosted by CEO Jensen Huang, and for good reason, as this will be the showcase of the next-generation technologies for PC gamers and consumers in the form of the Blackwell RTX 50 inches series. The past 4 CES keynotes have been all about GeForce RTX products, with the RTX 40 Super Series being introduced at CES 2024, RTX 4070 Ti being introduced at CES 2023, RTX 3090 Ti being introduced at CES 2022 and RTX 3060 being introduced at CES 2021. Still, this time, we will see the launch of the next generation Trio. From our sources, we now have the first details of what is going to be presented during the keynote, but the launches will be separate for each product, so let's get into the details. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090 32GB graphics card. Starting with the details, we first have the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090, which is going to be the top GPU of the lineup. The graphics card is expected to feature the PG144/145SK30 PCB design, and that's going to incorporate the GB202-300A1 GPU core. The GPU will have 170 SIMs enabled out of the total 192 SIMs, and will feature 21,760 cores instead of the total 24,576 cores. This marks an 11.4% reduction, which is slightly more than the -11.1% reduction of the RTX 4090 versus its full AD102 die. On the memory side, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090 is going to be a beast with 32GB of GDDR7 RAM capacity running across a 512-bit interface. The RAM will operate at 28 Gbps speeds for up to 1792 GB per second of bandwidth, plus a bigger L3 cache, and new memory compression techniques are also going to boost the overall bandwidth available to the GPU. The card will also come with a 600 watts TBP rating, though it should be mentioned that the TBP value shouldn't be compared with actual real-world or gaming power consumption, as that ends up much lower. Previous leaks have suggested a 2-slot cooler for the Founders Edition model of the RTX 5090. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 16GB graphics card. Moving over to the second card, we have the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080. The RTX 5080 graphics card will be based on the PG144/147SK45 PCB and will incorporate the GB203-400A1 GPU die. This card will utilize the full GB203 GPU die with 84 SIMs and 10,752 cores, but that's a big -51% reduction compared to the RTX 5090. For comparison, the RTX 4090 and RTX 4080 had a -40% difference in the number of cores, so the overall performance is going to vary by a huge margin. Other than that, the RTX 5080 is also going to feature half the RAM configuration with a 16GB capacity running across a 256-bit bus interface while utilizing GDDR7 modules. The graphics card will feature the fastest GDDR7 memory on the market, offering up to 32 Gbps speeds for 1024 GB per second or 1 TB per second of total bandwidth. The graphics card will feature a 400 watts TBP. This will be a 25% increase in the power wall, but once again, the real-world figures should be very different. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 12GB graphics card. Moving over to the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070, this graphics card will come with a GB205 GPU on the PG147 reference PCB. We don't have the exact core configuration for this model, but we know that the card itself will feature a 192-bit bus interface with 12GB of memory, similar to the existing 12GB RTX 4070, 192-bit. The card will feature 28 Gbps memory speeds for up to 672 GB per second of total bandwidth. This will be a 33% increase in bandwidth versus the RTX 4070 and RTX 4070 Super GPUs. This specific variant will feature a 250 watts TBP, marking a plus 14% increase over the RTX 4070 Super, 220 watts. Just for reference, we do know what each max configuration of the Blackwell RTX 50 inches GPUs will have to offer, and the GB205 maxes out with 5 GPCs or 50 SMs and a total of 6400 CUDA cores. It can be seen how the RTX 50 SKUs are arranged in the list below: GB202 Full, and GT 192 SMs, 24,576 cores, 100%, RTX 5090 and GT 170 SMs, 21,760 cores, 88.5%. GB203 Full, and GT 84 SMs, 10,752 cores, 100%, RTX 5080 and GT 84 SMs, 10,752 cores, 100%. GB205 Full, and GT 50 SMs, 6,400 cores, 100%, RTX 5070 and GT TBD SMs, TBD cores, TBD%. We have additionally learned that NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 50 GPUs will be making changes to the PCB backdrilling process to improve the signal integrity between the GPU and the GDDR7 RAM. Additionally, the lineup was previously suggested to feature a 14-layer PCB, and all cards should retain the single 12V-2x6 power connector interface, with only a few top-tier RTX 5090 or RTX 5080 models going with the dual 16-pin connector route. Other than that, the cards should be fully PCI 5.0 compliant and support DP2.1A with full 80 Gbps bandwidth support. NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 50 Blackwell GPUs, including the RTX 5090, RTX 5080, and RTX 5070, will be announced at CES 2025, so expect a jam-packed session delivered by CEO Jensen Huang, and we will also learn a bit more about next-generation AI technologies for gamer, which are going to be a major surprise for everyone.